you got the height on me, you got the reach on me, you got the age on me, you got everything else. But I win by being here. Do you understand that? I win by being here. You already lost.
Hey, what's going on, everyone? How you doing? I hope you're doing well. I'm going to talk about something that I just didn't see coming. I think nobody saw it coming. Boogie2988 versus Wings of Redemption, and it's happening this weekend, and I can't believe it's here. I'm going to break this bad boy down because there isn't a lot to unpack, but at the same time there is. It should be kind of fun. I hope you guys are going to watch because I know that I am. But before we get into that, I got to give a shout out to today's sponsor, and that is INTOTHEAM. I've been partnering with INTOTHEAM for a couple of years now, and they've essentially replaced my wardrobe as far as my t-shirts go. INTOTHEAM has a lot to offer when it comes to apparel, but I think their graphic tees are absolutely second to none. I'm someone who wears band tees a lot, and these shirts remind me of band tees because what I would look for in band tees is to have as much emotion on the shirt as possible, essentially getting my bang for my buck. Just look at this Night District graphic tee that I have on right now. This is absolutely perfect for me, up to the Japanese art style, to the colors, the purples, the violets, and just the big ass moon. So you probably see all these graphics and you're thinking, oh, they're probably really expensive, but they're not. That's what's so awesome about this. And right now, they're having a sale for 25% off all the graphic tees. So what you can do, you can get 3 for $56. And on top of that, if you use promo code SBG, you will get an extra 10% off. So go to intotheam.com/SBG and you can get the 3 shirts that I showcased in this video for just around $50. Where else are you going to get a better deal than that? Nowhere. Do it now or I will find you.
Supreme victory!
You just don't think these absolute huge people would ever have stepped in the ring. Now, don't get me wrong. I've seen plenty of super heavyweight fights over the years. The one thing is, they're almost never good. There's usually some type of circus thing to it that has a little bit of humiliation and secondhand embarrassment, and I'm sure we're gonna see some of that. It would be really insane if we saw something actually competitive, but I will tell you, I would prefer that. I would prefer to be clapping and to think these guys both put on a respectable performance, but how could they, especially when they didn't have that much time to train? This thing, Keemstar. Keemstar's an absolute villain for this, but at the same time, I love it. It's one of those things where it's like, man, this is pretty messed up, but at the same time, I am absolutely going to watch this, especially because it's free. It's free on the prelims for KSI versus whoever. I don't even know who the other guy is, actually. I know he's like a professional boxer, but I don't know. I guess, but I want to look for Assault Poppy. But yeah, prelims. Boogie, Wings of Redemption. Now here's the thing. I don't know that much about Wings of Redemption. I know of him plenty enough. But he was somebody that I just never really watched. I just saw clips of him that as a lolcow. Boogie's different. I actually did watch some of his content. But I didn't watch his content when he was like, everybody thought he was Francis. I didn't really think that shit was funny. The Francis thing didn't do anything for me. I was like, what the hell is this? What is this? It was when he was like, oh, hey, I'm Boogie, I'm Steven, or whatever. And he started putting out videos talking about personal things. I would watch some of his gaming-related content every once in a while. But it was really his personal stuff. Talking about his trauma, his past abuse, talking about, his weight issues, and just following his journey. Like seeing him get divorced from his wife and all this stuff, like after the gastric bypass, which is interesting because when you look at the statistics, it's very high. That there's a high divorce rate after a gastric bypass surgery, which is kind of crazy, but understandable because of a numerous amount of reasons, right? So I've been following his story and always took something from it. And that being said, I'm essentially biased in this boxing match where I would like Boogie to win. Now the question is, do I think Boogie's going to win? Well, not really. From the small little bit that I've seen, the small little bit of information that is available and the footage, I just see Wings as somebody who's just not as soft and doughy. Like, Boogie has a reputation of being, and no disrespect, a pushover. He has a reputation of being incredibly soft, as being just extremely non-confrontational, right? Even though he did fire that quote-unquote warning shot when that dude showed up to his house, like, I feel like a regular person, right? Like, a somebody who is someone who is essentially, just a normie, they probably would have just took a bat to that guy's face. Maybe not a gun or whatever, but then I say that, but then you have teenage black kids getting shot in the face for ringing the doorbell and stuff like that. And then other examples of things like that happening. So who am I to say? I just feel like on average, a normal person would, if someone's coming up from the internet and they're like harassing, you're probably just going to take a bat to their face or something. Something just in this in a way where it's like, you're not going to disrespect me again. Then Boogie just kind of went over because he has a lot of issues. I understand that. But overall, he's not a type of person that ever seems intimidating or really has any like type of muscle. He just seems very soft. He doesn't seem like he's strong at all. When I look at, say, Wings, I feel like I see some muscle on the guy. Obviously, he's a huge fat guy, but it seems like he has some muscle too. And that could really make the world of a difference, because obviously this bout is not going to be about stamina. Obviously, they're super heavyweights, like 400 pounds each. It's going to be about a little bit of power, I think. If someone can generate just enough power and enough force, then I think they can get the other one out of there. I think it's as simple as that. And I feel like Wings may have the edge on that, just from seeing him hit the bag and just looking at his body, essentially. Looking at the two different bodies, I think that makes a difference. Now, a lot of people will say, well, you can't judge on physique and all this stuff like that. But when it comes to heavyweights, super heavyweights, and when the heavier you get, the little you can't last. You have no endurance, you have no stamina. So it's really about power, essentially, in that you want to just try to get somebody out there quick. Them winning on points and going the distance doesn't really seem realistic, if you know what I mean. It just doesn't seem realistic. Boogie, I hope he surprises me. Maybe he is stronger than he looks, but it doesn't seem like that. Even when I see him hit the bags, when I see the type of force that he's generating, it's not good. And then again, they didn't really have any time to really learn how to throw real proper punches. And since they're really heavy, they're not going to really be generating that much force from the hips. They're not going to really be turning over the punches. They're not going to really be getting their bodies and really taking advantage of the kinetic energy to really get a real punch in. Right? It's like when you see some people when they're just kind of standing around or somebody doesn't step into their punch. Like, it's usually why a lot of times people don't get knocked out or whatever. It's kind of like one time when I got attacked, right? Some guy tried to mug me, so he sucker punched me. But he was just standing right in front of me, threw a punch, barely felt it. I guess it was enough to make me a little bit sore, but I didn't really feel it. It was one of those things that, like, oh, if dude really wanted to knock me out, step into that motherfucker, right? Step into the punch and give it all you got. And it just didn't do it. And he got me right on the chin, right? It just didn't. Now, to be fair, I've never been knocked out before. That's also because I just have, if I trained normally, if I was just like always in a boxing gym or something like that, then eventually it would happen. But that's just like seldom. Usually I'm hitting the bags and doing shadow boxing, doing things like that by myself because I just don't want to spend the money on training. It just really comes down to that. I'm a cheap bastard. So I don't know if maybe some of the coaches are teaching them how to properly do some stuff, but once they get in the ring, obviously all that shit's going to go out the window. It is so rare when you see somebody disciplined enough when they just started learning and then they actually utilize what has been said, especially when it's their first fucking fight. So it's one of those things that I'm like, all right, I want Boogie to win just because I know him. I've always been rooting for Boogie. I've even made some videos in defense of Boogie because the way that the internet talks about him, they act like he's just an absolute villain. And I made a video saying, what the hell has he done to deserve the type of hate that he's getting? Like, okay, fair enough. If you're going to hate on him, you're going to hate on him. Whatever, dude. See, it is the internet. I get that. But at least, like, I don't know. Explain to me why he's getting as much hate as he is. Why some people are making videos like, oh, he deserves his downfall and all this shit. And I'm like, what did he do? Did he, like, hurt somebody? Is he like a predator or something? Is he like this? Like this is the way that I feel like the internet would turn on him and trash him. In the same way, like, say I saw something happen to iDubbbz recently. In the same way, I'm like, what did he do exactly? Because, like, in the real world, I feel like there's levels to hate, right? You have legitimate reasons to despise somebody or to think they're the worst person or they've really fallen off or they deserve, like, a misfortune. You know, just terrible fucking people. And then there's these internet guys that are just doing some shit that is, like, unlikable. Something that you'd probably be like, oh, that's kind of fucked up, right? You'd probably just be like, oh, that's kind of fucked up. And that's it. But you're seeing these terminally online people that are like, it's over. These people, oh, it's over. And I'm like, bro, you gotta take a step back from the internet. But not in this situation. I'm going to be watching this fight. And like I said, I hope Boogie wins. If the only way I can see Boogie winning, really, I hope Boogie has good defense. I don't know. Because here's the thing. Wings, since he does seem stronger to me, and since Boogie doesn't seem that strong, it looks like to me that and there's all speculation, ladies and gentlemen, that Wings won't have to worry about defense all so much. He can probably just be swinging, and I'm sure they're going to just be swinging wild. It's probably not going to look ugly. I imagine there's going to be a lot of, like, punching and, like, turning away, head that way from Boogie. That's just kind of like what I see in my head. I hope he doesn't do that. I'm hoping that what my strategy would be, try to tire out Wings. Stick to defense. There is so much coating on the stomach. You don't really have to worry about that. I don't think a liver shot's going to put any of them out anywhere in the solar plexus or anything like that. So just keep the guard up high. I don't think any of them are skilled enough to slip guards. So it's like, Boogie, let him punch himself out. Hopefully that's what would happen. And then Boogie can just kind of just touch him up enough to where maybe somebody doesn't want to continue anymore. I don't know. It's one of those things, man. It's like, I want Boogie to win so badly. I really do. I really, really do. It's so hard for me to see it. I would absolutely love to be proven wrong completely. I would absolutely love it. I would love it if Boogie came out, has his guard up, just survives just a barrage, a flurry of attacks from Wings. Wings is gassed, and then Boogie is just, boom, tapping him. Busts his nose enough to where he's bleeding, it stings, he doesn't like it, and he's like, I don't want to continue anymore. How fucking amazing would that be? How amazing would that be? But then again, that's actually what might happen the other way around. Boogie might be the one that wants to come out. Like, I gotta get him out. And then he punches himself out and he's just defenseless. And then Wings just starts piecing him up. I hope that doesn't happen. I love how biased I am in this. But here's the question. Those of you watching this video, are you going to watch it? I feel like a lot of you are going to tune in. If you're going to watch it, who are you going for? Maybe you're going for Wings. Maybe you're not a fan of Boogie and you want Wings to piece him up. I'm totally okay with that. I do not care who votes for who's going for who's rooting for you. I'm just telling you guys who I'm biased for. Like, I want Boogie to win. I would love it. I don't really see it happening, you know, like, but I would love it to happen. I'm not betting. I'm not putting any money on this. I'm just going to enjoy a fucking circus super heavyweight fight. And I got to tell you, this makes me happy because it really shows that Keemstar means business. When Keemstar was talking about making a fight for Ethan Ralph, I was like, I can't see that, like, fat cow getting in the ring. But essentially, since these two giants are getting in the ring, Ethan Ralph could get in the ring. Now, who would Ethan Ralph fight? I know they already wanted to do Ethan Ralph versus Andy Worski. Ethan Ralph pulled out, so then Andy fought Salt Poppy, and we saw the result of that. Complete mismatch. I would absolutely love, though, to see maybe... I need to see Ethan Ralph in a ring. I need that so badly. Keemstar, somebody clip this. Keemstar, please reach back out to... please reach back out to Ethan Ralph and get him in the ring. I need to see that more than anything else in the world. I don't really care who he fights. I just want to see him have it. Ethan Ralph versus a Portuguese guy, not just like a random one. Andy Worski's probably not going to take the fight. He's like, I'm not going to waste my time, but just find a random Portuguese person. And be like, hey, would you like to fight this bag of just this piece of fucking human garbage? And he's like, yeah, I'm Portuguese. Why not? And just stomp him. Ah, man. Okay, I'm getting the hell out of here. Guys, let's watch this fight together, and let's celebrate how fucked up the internet is.